Morning, soul family. I always need to do the clearing of the throat thing. I used to have somebody that would do that in my life, and it would drive me nuts. And now it's me. Gosh. It's because I have a smoothie in the morning, you know, and you've got that almond milk and everything, and then you've got all that ugh in your throat. So sorry. Okay, it's a hot one today. Like hot. And it's still, like there's no freaking breeze, and it's hot. So I wasn't going to do our reading outside, but I like getting our animal messengers. Mockingjay, first one we see. Mockingjay is a mimic. Mockingjays can make the sound of a cat. They can make the sound of a dog. They are mimics. They want to pretend to be somebody other than who they are. There's other messages to Mockingjay, but looks as though our moonflower is about to open. It'll be open tonight. That one's gone. This one's opening. That one will. So we'll see tonight. So who are we going to choose? Oh, it's always so difficult for me to choose. You know what? Let's do this. We'll choose the blue owl, Joy, the pink owl. Why are you hiding yourself, love? Stop hiding. Right? We want the love out in front. Here we go. So Joy, love. Let's do the mermaid. And the butterfly. Okay? All right, so today, let me put you guys like this. If I put you over here, maybe if we have a messenger fly in like we often do, you guys will see it. Okay, so today, excuse my reach. Okay. I've got, everybody's going to get a message from the Messenger Oracle because I love reading the pictures. And the other decks that we're going to use are the Divine Circus, the Wild, I love the fact that I never realized this, the Wild Wisdom of the Faery Oracle. Wild Wisdom of the Faery. I like wild. I like it wild. My kids used to love The Wind in the Willows. Oh, look. Oh, look. Hello. You really want to be seen. That's the green one. Okay, you guys. I mean, we can't get more confirmation about the June BugTotem, and I shared it yesterday. So, all the events that occur yesterday, today, tomorrow, and what's 3 to 5 days, and then 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, whatever lessons they have brought forward or the messages they brought forward come to fruition at 3 to 5 weeks. So over the next 2 to 5 days, 3 to 5 days. So now we've already seen it. They've been here a couple times, so it's definitely right now we've got to pay attention to what's going on. I've got a lot of I got a lot of liars in my life, which is really awesome. People pretending to be other people, you know. I don't know. I don't know why that's so, why people do that. But, you know, you lose respect for somebody really fast when they lie to you, you know. I have a real huge problem with liars. Okay, so correct for neutrality on all levels. First message, we will ask for, let's see, we start with the blue owl. Blue owl, and we're going to be getting our message from the Faerytale Oracle. You got a story. You get a story. Okay, what can we hold up? What can we hold? Let's do this. We'll use a cactus again. This cactus is interesting. This cactus, when I lived over in a place called The Farm, I was walking behind I used to walk all the time in the field. I used to do like 7 laps, and down the back gate, like there was like a what is it called? It was just kind of open earth area all through the back. People used to walk their dogs through there, and there was this giant cactus like this, and there was one little piece just like that, and that's what I took. And this thing has grown and grown and grown and grown. And look at new babies coming. I don't know, it's amazing. And my cats rub up against this, and I don't know how it doesn't bother them, because anytime I try and touch it, if I touch it, I get a needle in me, and it sticks in there, you know? So, all right, we're gonna use that to hold us up. Cactus family, the prickly family. Okay, water and salt. No, interesting, because what was I speaking about? Liars, right? Well, here we have the truth. Now, this is the story of a king and his 3 daughters. And this king was very vainglorious, let's call it that. And he said to his daughters, "How much do you love me?" And the one daughter said, "I love you as much as my eyes." Kind of like I'd give up my eyes for you. That's how much I love you. And the other daughter said, "I love you as much as," what did she say, her heart, or something just as big, like, you know, "I love you as big as the world," or "I love you." One was the eyes, and the other one was another, something that you clearly wouldn't go without. I'm trying to think of what it was. I think it was heart, as much as my heart, because you wouldn't want to go, you couldn't live without your heart, and you wouldn't want to live without your eyes. You could, but you wouldn't want to. And then the youngest daughter he went to, and he said, "How much do you love me?" And she said, "I love you as much as water and salt." And the king, he was an old king, and he was, as I said, vainglorious and proud, right? And he flipped his lid. He was so angry. He felt she was so disrespectful to minimize her love for him that way. And he flew into this rage. I mean, clearly he wasn't in his right mind. And he demanded that she be put to death. And so the executioner came in, and she was taken away, and he told the executioner to bring back her heart to prove that she was dead. So she was taken away crying, and her sisters followed her out, and they went to the executioner, and they didn't have a difficult time persuading the executioner not to kill her. The executioner had a heart, and so they said, "You know what, you can kill a little dog and bring the heart back instead." Poor little dog, hey? So then the sisters took the youngest one, and they hid her in a cave, far away from where anyone would see her. There was no sun, it was, but she was safe. It was cold and safe. So the king, after doing what he did, I mean, you know, sometimes people fly into a rage and they behave in a very disgusting, disrespectful manner. And as I said, he obviously wasn't well. And because of what he had done, he had grief building in his heart. Such grief for what he had asked to be done. I mean, the heart was brought back, and he'd had his daughter killed. And so he hid that grief inside of him because he was very proud. But the executioner came back with her little dress that was torn, and there was blood on it with a beating heart. So here she was, far away in this cave, and every day she would go out into the forest because, I mean, what was she going to live on, right? They left her there. And she would gather berries and nuts. And once when she was out, she met a magician. And the magician took her to the nearest kingdom, where the king's son in that kingdom saw her and fell in love with her. And she loved him too. And so they said, they took vows that they would only love one another. And they had a feast. It was going to be given, and an invitation sent to all of the kingdoms around. So at that time, of course, there was no trains, there was no cars, there were no airplanes. You traveled by foot or by horse or by carriage. But it was a long journey. So when she was preparing the feast, she told the waiters and the ones preparing that everyone would be given their fine food as well as water and salt, but there was one that was not to be given the water and salt. Because as you travel over the dusty road, you would, and also, so the water was to clean themselves as well as quench their thirst after their long journey. So this one was not to be given, is what she said. And as I said, this man had been, this king, this very, very proud king, had hid his grief. He hadn't let anyone know how badly he felt over what he had done. And it was literally driving him insane. It was eating him up inside. He already wasn't in his right mind when he made the decision that he did, and now he was very unstable. So at the feast, all of the kings came from all the different countries, and they were sitting there. And this daughter, she watched her father unable to eat. He didn't want the wine. He was parched. All he wanted was water. And she stood before him and she watched him, refusing the wine, unable to eat, feeling quite mad. And she stood in front of him and she said, "Banish your grief from your eyes, Father, and look upon me. You caused me to be killed because I told you I loved you as much as salt and water. And now you've seen what it is to eat without salt and water." Her father, that very proud king, looked at this fine woman, realized what an honest person that she was. And his pride finally broke. And he cried and he cried and he cried and he cried. And as he poured out those tears, that was the truth. His grief was real. His sorrow, his shame was real. And he tasted those drops of water that fell down his face and tasted the truth. She had actually loved him the truest and the deepest. She knew what people needed in life, the basics. And never again was he ever ready to kill with pride. His pride had been broken. And he had been broken by his grief before that, but he realized that truth and kindness are much better praise than anything. Truth is so important. From that moment on, he became such a good king, much better king, definitely a better father, because he had learned. Now he was wise. And clearly, the difference in him affected all of the kingdom around him for how he ruled. So the message in this card for you, Blue Owl, is that speaking the truth sometimes is punished. And you might be punished for what you know to be true and for speaking the truth, but in time it's going to be worth it. Because now, the time for making everyone else happy and holding your tongue, that is past. Because right now you need to say it how it is and why it is. And if you do, that will be the most healing action that you can take at this time. Be prepared in the short term, you're going to pay. You're going to pay. But in the long term, it will be very, very rewarded. And the discomfort that you have to deal with upon telling your truth is going to be very well worth you having spoken the truth. The unadorned, unembellished truth, plain honesty, truth and clarity. It's telling you that love is not to be tested. That anger at being unloved is definitely false pride. And that pride can kill. Interesting that this blue owl was given this message. I know that the owl lied to me. I gave him an opportunity to speak the truth, but he didn't. You know, people are misjudged so often. You judge people on basis of others before you, and they aren't the others before you. And people have lied and done terrible things and have been forgiven because they were honest. I've made it really, really clear in my life that for someone to come forward and speak the truth, that's really difficult. It's very, very difficult when you've already lied. Because it's like, oh my God, you know, like what did my mom tell me? What are you going to believe, the first lie or the second lie? Because they're a liar. But also remember when I saw my mother in France in my dream, the admonition that she gave me, she said, don't do what I did. Forgive him. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What is your message from the Messenger Oracle? Correct for neutrality on all levels. follow the moon. Well, the first thing, look at this. This is a sea maiden. The moon goddess coming up out of the sea. Look at, she's wearing the color of beryl crystal. My favorite. It's the color I need. It's aquamarine, you guys. So you're looking at following the moon, and clearly for the first, to me, the first thing I would say about following the moon is following your intuition. Look at the butterfly, you guys. It's the one we saw yesterday. It's the black and yellow one. You gonna come up here? They're so cool the way they flutter. God, there's nothing like a butterfly, you know? You see it in the bush down there? Maybe it'll come back up. Black and yellow. Interesting. Got the yellow pot, right? Yellow is friendship. Yellow is the divine masculine. Yellow is your solar plexus. I am worthy. I am capable of doing anything I set my mind to. Black, coming out of the darkness to embrace the divine masculine within you. The ability to move forward despite your circumstances. Okay, so here we see embracing the divine feminine, which we all have within us. That's the goddess energy, our intuition, our loving, nurturing energy. This is a time when we connect to our dreams. We pay attention to what our higher self is saying, our higher sight. You got to pay attention how the full moon, we have a full moon coming up again, I think. And the full moon, I'm affected very much a few days before the full moon. And after the full moon, I'm very, very tired because I get a lot of downloads before the full moon. So then it's processing time for me afterwards. But we are all affected by the full moon because we have so much water in our body. And you know by the tide, that's one just great example that you can watch, how the moon pulls the tide in and out. It's able to move the water. So clearly it's able to move the ocean water. It's able to move the water within you. So you have to ask yourself, how do you behave? How are you affected by the moon? Pay attention to it. The different moon cycles. When it starts to grow full, after the moon, when it goes down, when it's just a sliver moon, how do you behave? I just showed you with me. I have a lot of energy before the full moon, and then I'm restless, and then afterwards very tired. So try and understand possibly how your intuition is heightened before the full, like for me, before the full moon, my intuition is very heightened. Pay attention to that, because then you can work with the cycles of the moon to connect. And you can also see how your body is affected, how your emotions are affected. How do you behave? What kind of like I get a little bit hyper, a little bit wound up before the full moon, right? And then afterwards, and then it's kind of like a stasis, like, and then it's process. It's like go in. So pay attention. They want you to pay attention to see how you're affected by these cycles. Well, I won't say it yet. I was going to say at 18 minutes, but I'm just going to wait while we shuffle. I don't like these to sit. So we're going to work with, oh, wait a second. What deck did I just use? I used the Faerytale. Okay, so right now we're going to the Fairy Oracle. So right now, this is going to be the pink owl. The pink great horned owl. We had the boy great horned owl, and now we're going to have the girl great horned owl. I am the great horned owl. I work with the great horned owl. I have one that comes to visit me here. It's really cool. He sat on that roof right there. I felt, I was in my, at my desk, and it was interesting because I said something about the great horned owl, and I had been given messages about it, you know, that he's coming. And I was in there, and I felt this shadow. Oh, that was the day before. This is how cool it is. I felt this shadow go over me, and I thought, wow, I saw the shadow. It was big, and, you know, I have California condors that fly around here. They're big. Their wingspans, you know, 3 to 4 feet across, and so I wondered if it was that, but it flew over, and it didn't go anywhere, so I came out, and I went over here underneath, and he was literally sitting on the corner of the roof. I could see him from over in this corner here, and he turned to look at me. Oh my God, it's amazing. There's a pair that roost and that live over ways down there. And then he came and sat across so I could actually look at him. And I saw him the other night. Lily and Liger and I were outside in the front. I worked out and I went outside to cool off, and sat with them because they like to be outside at night, and I have to babysit Lily because she's so little. An owl could take her away. So, and there, I heard see, the great horned owl doesn't have the silent wings like the snowy owl. I heard his wings. It was a really neat sound. But all I could see was, I felt like I had this pterodactyl flying above me. And then I saw him. Oh, so cool. Okay, I gotta be careful with this deck because this is a reverse deck. Okay, and we got it in reverse. So the unicorn and the maiden in reverse. So I have to pay attention to this. Now, you see this couple. In the upright, they're a team. The number 10 is an ending. It's an ending either way, the end of something. Either way. But upwards, these guys are on a mission, right? She's got his back and he's protecting her. He loves her. Look at the hearts. I mean, the hearts, the flowers, roses, passion, and how pure he is. And she's got a fiery nature. And she's like, you're safe with me. Here, I feel, since we got this upside down, I feel like it makes more sense to me the way her face is. She's mistrusting. Look at her eyes. I don't trust you. I don't trust anyone. Right now, this message is about misunderstanding and underestimating the power that you have to bring peace to a situation that might feel impossible to fix. You're feeling not safe. She's looking over her shoulder like, I can't trust you. Wondering, are the messages that I'm getting, are the visions that I'm picking up, are they authentic? Are they true? Confused by psychic communication or the visions that you get. Unsure that the source that you're getting your information from is coming from the light. You feel like you're hunted and you need to hide yourself to be safe. You might be getting headaches in your third eye. Now think about it. I want to know what I'd like to see what the cycle of the full moon is. You know what? Let's go look. Because it has a lot to do with this, I think. So the full moon will be on the 9th. And today is the 7th. Now see? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because I said before the full moon is when my intuition is all over the place, right? So here we are the 7th and the full moon is on the 9th. Makes perfect sense. And it's the truth, you know? You're getting messages from spirit and you're wondering if they're the truth. Oh, you have to watch him go across the water. It's so beautiful. So this message is really, really, really important right now. So you're getting information from spirit and it's coming in and you can't, oh my God. Okay, you guys just missed something. Well, you couldn't see it. I saw it. That white crane, the white heron that I was watching go across the water, he went down and right behind him came a blue heron. Together. They went together. I don't know where the blue heron was when the white heron was coming across the water, but they both kind of arced across and both of their wingspans, God, they were together, the blue heron and the white heron. It was an amazing sight. To me, I feel like it's a male and the female of the same type, right? The same energy. They were moving in, like they moved in harmony. They were completely connected. The way they flew, it was like a team. That was amazing. So right now, with what's going on, you don't know what to trust. You don't know what to feel. I know I'm getting messages. I know they're very, very clear. They're very obvious, but they're coming out of order, right? Maybe you're eating or drinking things that you shouldn't. You might be needing to clarify, purify, and detoxify right now so that you're getting things straight. What is your life purpose? Are you following through on your soul's path? What's interesting is they're speaking about communication. Now, Spirit's been communicating with you, giving you messages, but they're coming out of order. You're not trusting them. You're not trusting what you're getting. But they're also talking about you not communicating with another. and I saw those two fly together. Two of a kind. You're not choosing to speak to or communicate. Either write, call, or speak in person in a way that's going to bring about peace. Interesting. Right now, it's very important for you to clarify and detoxify. With all of the, I can tell you right now, my third eye is tight because I'm getting downloads like crazy. I'm not sleeping well at night either. I don't sleep very well when I get downloads. That's why after the full moon, I have that downtime. And I could actually sleep in. Whereas before the full moon, there's so many downloads coming and so much information that's coming in. And you know, it comes so fast and so as is brought out in an order that you can't kind of organize things. It comes so quickly. But you are getting it. You can trust what you're picking up. You just have to understand that that's what's happening. Okay, you're being flooded right now with information. Okay, so take the information, write it down, and just hold it for a few days. Just wait and allow you know that you need a few days to process it. And then it will become clear. But in the meantime, do your best to keep your body clear with detoxifying it. Stay away from drugs, from alcohol, from cigarettes. Drink alkaline water, because alkaline water is so that's lemon. Put lemon in your water. That helps it so that your third eye is decalcified. Sorry, I had to take a swig of my smoothie. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. These are clarifier messages too. So I'd like a little bit more clarification of this. Because you know what? Hold on. Before I move on. The fact that you're upside down right now, we're upside down right now with this message, right? Where we feel like we can't trust the source, where we are needing to clarify and purify, where we know that messages are coming fast and furious. Understand that these two are a team, which means spirit is our team as well. And the unicorn, it talks about the power of the written word. You think about this as its pen or pencil. And they give you information that needs to be told. They communicate that way. The unicorn is actually a symbol for people who work in the film industry, who are writers, who are working in the television industry, and visual arts. So if you are getting this, if you got this in the upright, you would be embarking on some kind of creative endeavor that would help if you called upon the wisdom of the unicorn to help you if you had a block in regards to speaking or coming forward or writing, right? Because all your information is here in your third eye to help you. So we want to turn this around. We want to turn this around from not trusting our source and realizing that we can trust our source. Purify our water. Our water is our own emotions, our own thoughts, our own speech, right? That's also anything to do with emotion is water. So we have the power over this. We can ask for this, for help. And right now things might be a little bit disorganized, but it won't take much and we can turn things right back around. I don't want to leave you in like a negative place, right? Sometimes we make poor decisions, poor choices, because we're approaching a full moon. So we can remedy that. Like the king, right? He made a poor choice. That was a pretty bad choice. But it's basically about, you know, sometimes you're not thinking straight. Well, why was I not thinking straight? Why did I do that? Well, geez, I'm more affected by the full moon than I realized I was. You know, it's not to blame. It's not to put blame, because we all have choice. We all have a choice to tell the truth or lie. But sometimes our emotions are so jumbled up we can't see straight. So we can turn that around. Remember? You might be, you know, somebody might be mad at you for having lied to them. But if you have the honor to speak your truth, you're going to be respected for that, right? And yeah, maybe you're going to have to pay it first, right? Someone's going to be a little bit pissed off, but in the end, it'll be good for you. So here we see the sea serpent. That, to me, is Merlin. That's my dragonfish. Dang, I've never seen this one before. Oh, you know what's so cool? Okay, what's even more cool about the fact that this is Merlin, this is me, because this has got ram horns like the Aries ram. So this is the part of Merlin that I am. Merlin represents two, but this is my part. I love that. And the divine feminine, right? This is the moon, the goddess energy. This is the nurturing, mothering energy. I love it. You're a dragon, but you're a mother, and you're a nurturer. You're love. You've got the ability to ram through. You know, that's the truth. That's the truth. So I would say that this is embracing all of those qualities, your strength and your power, your connection to your higher self, but also your loving, nurturing, peaceful nature inside of you. It's like taming the dragon within you and working with all at once. So right now, that's what Spirit wants you to do. Take the time to nurture all the things that mean something to you so that they can grow and flourish. It's like me with my plants. I was so excited to walk around yesterday and show you guys how everything is growing. I've loved them. I've loved my plants. Everything's blooming. Everything's healthy. There's no bugs. My petunias are back. Oh, now somebody's in there. Look at that. Somebody's been munching. So I have to check here. I've got to be careful. Somebody's munching, which means I've got... There you are. I see you, you little stinker. Come here. No, you're not having my plants. I know you're going to turn into... See? This one's going to turn into a moth. And you're not going to live in my plants. So this is what we're supposed to do. Now, it's going to take me a while. I won't do it all with you guys here, but it's going to take me a while to go through this. Go through my plants and see, because they're hidden, right? So this is the same in our life. A lot of things are hidden from our sight, and it's going to take us a little time to go through it. So the messages that we get from Spirit, right? The downloads that come to us, they come to us, and sometimes they don't make sense at first. It's going to take a little while for us to go through and get clarity. I mean, because one thing can easily look like another. I told you that there are people that are coming to me and they're lying about who they are, right? And things can easily look like... It can easily look to me like I'm being shown one person when it's actually somebody else, right? So I have to be very careful. I thought about that this morning. I was given very, very clear information. And the clarity was, yes, you're lying to me. I know that you're lying to me. That's the truth. But then I was given a couple of different people, and I wouldn't want to make the mistake of blaming one when it wasn't them, right? Because one thing can look very much like another. That little caterpillar was hiding, and it blended right in with the leaves. It was difficult for me to see him, but I did see him, didn't I? That's the truth. See, that's the truth. I looked, it took me a couple of seconds to take a peek at it and make sure of what I was seeing. But I did see it. And he was removed. Right? So, there we go. And it's interesting how one little caterpillar can do all of this damage. All of these plants started to grow again very, very happily. And all it took was one to be hatched. One moth. All right. So, nurture what you love. Take the time, the care. Take a few minutes. Now, I could sit there and just ignore that, and I would come out probably tomorrow, and the flowers would be eaten, right? I mean, they would be gone. This one's already eaten half through. This one's half gone. These other ones are trying to bloom, right? What I've been nurturing is trying to grow. And if you don't take the time to pick off the enemy, and you know, the enemy doesn't necessarily, he's got to get his own work too. He's going after the sweet stuff. He wants it. He wants the information. The information's important to him for some reason. Or her, right? And we won't be mad at him for wanting that. But we do have to protect what's ours, right? So take the time to nourish and nurture the things that matter to you. What matters to me? My peace of mind, my privacy, my truth, right? The people that I love. Just makes me feel that, you know, on the internet, don't divulge your information to people that you don't know, that you have not met personally, that you don't know. Anyone can be anyone at any time. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And sometimes they want you to believe they're someone else, and it can cause a division between you and someone else when that's not even the truth. So right now, your relationships, your body, I'm working out every night, your food, right? The way you nourish your body. Smoothie may not taste as fun as going to have a full big breakfast, but it's helping me out, right? It's giving me the nourishment that I need, while not, you know, giving me a lot in one meal without bringing me all the negative things that I don't need. Inside of this smoothie is, you know, I've got all my super greens, I've got cholesterol, I've got all kinds of very, very important ingredients in this smoothie. Chia seeds, flaxseed, all kinds of different things in this. So we need to nourish our body. We need to cherish our body. That shows us that we love our body. And when we love our body works for us, right? This is about, in relationships, you want to do the same thing. Cherish, love, honor, and respect relationships. If you want a friend, you need to be a friend. If you want someone to respect you, you need to respect them, their boundaries, their feelings, right? And when you don't give that care and attention to all of these things, they start to fall apart. Either they're neglected and they waste away, like my landlord said, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to pay somebody to rip out one of these oleanders, it's dying. And I said, well, you don't water it. And he says, you don't have to water it. Yeah, you do. You got to water everything. I mean, they do manage to hold on. They're used to being in a very dry climate, but you know, everything needs water. So without attention, it's going to die, and they have. So nurture what it is that matters to you. Take care of what you say is precious to you by cherishing it and giving it the care that it deserves. And when you do that, then these things bring you happiness. You feel a sense of fulfillment. You, like me, I look around and I'm like, I'm so happy that my plants are doing so well, but I have to stay on top of it. I got to stay on top of those petunias because they're so delicate and they're the creme de la creme. That's what those caterpillars want, is that. They go to that very, very soft, delicate flower. And there's a specific moth that goes to that particular petunia. And that's what that one is. Interesting. So I have seen it. I saw the other day. I said, you guys, look, they're all growing. How beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't check it. You know, assuming that, well, it was safe for now. Well, you have to keep checking your borders, right? Keep checking your borders. Are you letting your guard down? Are you being foolish? Are you being too open? You don't want to be paranoid, but you have to be a constant gardener, right? A constant gardener in order to see your garden flourish and grow. So this is about your dreams, your body, your mind, your spirit, your relationships, your projects, everything. Okay, so now, where are we? We're going to go to the mermaid. Mermaid. And the mermaid, we are working with, oh, I guess that's one of mine. We are working with the vampire deck. No surprise. Got to be careful of your energy, right? It's very important to keep your shields up. You need to learn how to clear your energy and shield. Now, because of the full moon cycle and the fact that I have so much information coming at me and it hasn't been put in order yet, I have to be careful not to make mistakes, right? But I also have to be careful too at this time, especially when I realize that, okay, I've got a lot of information coming right now, and so, which means my psychic self is working very hard to process everything. So while you're overloaded like that, it's like you're overwhelmed. It's like, so then now it's even more important for your borders to be tight, right? So that you don't make mistakes when things aren't clear. Correct for neutrality on all levels. We've got to keep our energy clean, clear, and protected. All right, message. Hunter. How interesting. Aggressor, tracker, provider. This is interesting. You feel like you're hunting? You feel like you've been hunted? 3 and 2 is 5. significant change is occurring in your life, always for the better. Good idea to call upon Spirit for help with these changes. So, some feel that in order to have what they feel that they should have, or what it is that they really need, or they desire, they got to be the hunter. You know? I am man, hear me roar, right? I got to kill it. I got to hunt it and kill it, and then it's mine. It's like that caveman mentality. Really? You know, we really need to get past this and move up to the ascended self, where we realize that we're equal. We do not have caveman mentality where you go out and club the woman over her head and drag her back to your cave. So there's something in you that feels that you need to do this. Like there's a, like a competition. So many people, I deal with, you know, love and relationships all day long, and that's one of the major problems that we encounter when I'm dealing with them, is the feeling that they have to compete. They're literally competing with each other. And it's awful. It may be that you were raised, you know, to believe that way. You know, the man, like, what, a guy doesn't want a girl until she doesn't want him, and then he wants her because he wants to hunt. Oh, it's just in my nature. That's how we're made. Okay, but we're ascending. Things are changing, and you need to straighten up your brain, because that's not the way it is. If you love someone, you love them. You express that, you're open and you're honest, and you move forward in a beautiful, blissful relationship. If you're not capable of doing that, and you do this whole club her over the head, drag her back mentality, you're not interested in her until she doesn't want you, and then you want her. That's not the way it flies. That's not an equal, loving, respectful relationship. Competition. You compete with one another. I said to my twin at one time, I had a dream last night. This was years ago. Clearly the lessons have not been learned yet. We're on a mountain. We're skiing down the mountain. Well, of course, a mountain. When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. A mountain is either a challenge or your higher self, like meditation, or to spirit. Our Father, right? The law, whatever. A mountain could represent something of strength, but it can also represent a challenge. Well, for us, it was a challenge because the mountain was covered in snow. So snow was frozen emotion. I was just skiing down the hill, happy to be with him. I just wanted to be there. And we would ski back and forth. And he was much faster. He was a much better skier than I was, which didn't make me feel like I wanted to compete with him. I looked at him and I thought, God, he's an amazing skier. He does everything so well. That's what I was thinking, even in my dream. So what we were doing is we're going down the mountain, right? We're traversing back and forth. But what he was doing was, he had that look on his face. That look on his face. And he was like cutting in front of me. In front, and I just laughed. I thought he was just playing. I thought he was playing. And it was fun, right? I would go down, like say, here's our mountain, right? We're skiing down this snowy mountain. So I'm going down like this, right? And he would go choo, 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 and cut right in front of me, back and forth, back and forth. And he'd look back like, did you see that? Did you see that? Like, and I thought he was showing off. And you know what? It's cute for a while. And all the way down, and we got down to the bottom of the mountain. We get right down before the bottom of the mountain, and he cuts in front of me, and he sprays the snow all over my whole body. And he laughs, and he goes, ha! And I said to him, I sent him the dream, and I said, I don't want to compete with you. I want to win with you. And I don't think he maybe even understood it at the time. And it's a lesson that so many people have to learn. Women can do this too. They're not interested in somebody until they don't want them, and then they want them. And then, you know what? They really don't want them. They're just a prize. You treat people and even jobs and even acquisitions, anything, as the kill, right? I'm going in for the kill. And we're taught that in business, in the world. So it's understandable that people would have that kind of attitude. But there's a way to find what you need without taking it from someone else. That's another thing. There are some women who don't want a man. I don't want him, but I don't want you to have him. So I'll do anything I can to trick him and make him think that I want him. And then I've got them, and then I discard them because I'm bored with it, right? No thought of another person's feelings. So right now, within you, there's this urge to win in a competition, and you feel like, only one of us is going to survive. It's going to be you or me. And you're the hunter. It's just the way it is. And if you were to hunt in the wild, you go out and you hunt that deer, you shoot that deer, or you kill it with a bow and arrow, and it's dead, you're the winner. That's why everybody poses holding up these beautiful antlers, these gorgeous deer, elk, moose, whatever. That's why I hate that. That's why that's why I'm a vegetarian. But they hold those beautiful animals up dead and smile. You see women holding up a giraffe or a zebra, and why do you need to kill a zebra? Because it's the hunt. It's the thrill of the hunt and the kill. This one woman, I saw her, she's all about animals, but there's a picture of her hunting, and she's holding this deer's head with her little girl next to her. And she says, well, it's not like it's a rabbit and I can make friends with it. I thought, wow. It just came across my feed one time. I saw it, and somebody made a comment. She's like, oh my God. But it's the thrill of the hunt, that primal thing inside of you. So it's almost like you need to have the thrill of the chase. People used to say that to me about my twin, right? You only want him because you can't have him. No, that's not true, because when he was here, I was very happy. But most of the time you'll watch, somebody wants you because, like with me, I won't go out with anyone. So it makes me very, very desirable to a lot of people. They want to be the one to conquer it, right? conquer the mountain. The one that, the princess in the ivory tower, or whatever it is. Stupid. We already got the message before. You feel like you're being hunted. I do, and I don't like it. I don't like being hunted. It's a disgusting concept to me. So right now, Spirit's asking for you to recognize the hidden hunter inside of yourself and realize that there's something in you that's lacking. You feel like you have to do that in order to get something that you feel that should be yours. So right now, Spirit says, if you're thinking in correct terms and you're understanding the messages today, you will actively seek what you want. You'll be courageous enough to speak up and ask for what you want. But if you're not disciplining yourself and not focusing on what it is that you want, you're being distracted by the feelings of power in the pursuit. And you can become ruthless and play dirty. It's not a cool thing. You shouldn't be proud of yourself. You should be ashamed. It's something to be embarrassed of. It is. And if you were taught to believe that this is a different story, then you shouldn't be listening to this reading, because you're not coming from a place of your highest light. You're coming from a pure place of ego, pride, just like that king, that arrogant king. You want something, have the courage, have the balls to step up and ask for it. A lot of times this isn't done because you feel that you'll be rejected. And that's how you know that you are strong. That's how you know that you are a courageous person. That you're going to put yourself on the line for who it is or what it is that you want. You don't have to play dirty. You don't have to play games. You're straight and honest. You've probably been hurt in the past. Maybe someone's done this to you, pretended that they liked you and then thrown you away. And so now you're afraid to put yourself on the line. But remember that first message we got. Love should not be tested. That's not love. Don't be the aggressor, the tracker, the hunter. Be the provider. Be the one that wants to care for, nourish, and nurture. Then you get real love. Then you get real satisfaction in the business world. You don't have to be cutthroat and dirty and sneaky and play tricks. manipulate and lie. Be straight. Go up against your competition and show that you're better than them, and that's why you should have the job. Show that you're worthy of being the one that the woman or the man wants to be with by the actions of who you are. And your message from the Messenger Oracle. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Maybe you don't know what you want and you just like playing games. And that's, you know what? It's different when someone plays games with your heart, right? It's not okay. In and out, in and out. I don't know what I want. I want you. I don't want you. It's a turn on when you ignore me. I like that. I like that. Wow. There's a problem there. There really is a problem there. That is not maturity. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Make the sacrifice. There you are, up on that mountain, holding on to something that's dead in your hands. Are you holding on to a memory? Are you remembering something that, is that why you're behaving the way that you are? Because that's what happened before. You're not letting go of something that's hurt you. That is long dead and needs to be put down. There's just a skeleton, but you still hold on to it in your heart hand. You're not even looking at the moon. You're above the moon. Your intuition is down here and it's in the dark. You sit up there on that mountain in the trees where you feel safe, but you're all by yourself, holding on to your anger and your blame, to something that is long dead and gone. Are you happy alone up there? Does it keep you warm at night? 2 and 7 is 9. It's coming to a conclusion, hopefully. Because something, you will either end something or it is long dead. But you're not going to get what you want when you're unwilling to act on what it is that you desire. It's not as simple as wanting it to happen and expecting it to land in your lap. You have to make it happen. You have to go after something. You have to risk rejection. You have to risk not being the one chosen. You have to risk not getting that job. If you want it bad enough, you'll go after it. What is it that you need to do? You need to make the sacrifice. Everything that you want, everything we want to achieve, we have to give something of ourselves in order to attain it. What are you willing to do? How bad do you want it? You want that? Prove it. That matters to you? Prove it. Because clearly you're in the dark up there. You're consumed with anger. Look at your eyes. Those are angry. You're angry about something in the past. Something that is done. Deal with it. What is it that happened that made you so angry? Face it. Bring it out in the open. Say, this is what it was. I don't like that this happened. This is why I did this. This is why I feel this way. And then you're filled with self-loathing because of the way you behave. Then you feel bad about yourself. So you're in a cycle, a vicious cycle. You do something you know you shouldn't do, and you do it. And you do it because of this that's haunting you. But that can't hurt you anymore. It's over, it's done, it's gone. Throw it away. Let it go so that the future is in front of you. Whatever it is, if it was a business deal that went bad, if it was a relationship, someone who treated you with disrespect. Because you know what? The victim often turns around and becomes the hunter. The hunted becomes the hunter. Don't be that. Throw it away. Come down out of that lonely place. Tap into that intuition. It's trying to rise. There's green all around the outside, and there's green up even where you are. That's love and healing, if you will only allow it in. If you only stop focusing on that and put that down. Feelings of revenge and anger and bitterness, and then it goes back around again. It's like the snake that eats its own tail. That was in the reading that I posted the other day. It was about Pisces. It was interesting. The guy said, that is something that a Pisces does. Now, I'm not going to label a Pisces. I felt it was for all of us. That's why I posted it. because that's what will happen. Sometimes we hurt ourselves in the process of trying to help ourselves. But that's why these messages are so important, and how we can learn from them and put down whatever it was that hurt us, whatever it is that made us this way. Maybe you had to fight to survive. Maybe you had to become cold and tough and hid your emotions. Remember the story yesterday of the father who tried to teach his son, or the mother, don't feel. Don't feel. Don't let them hurt them. Don't ever let them hurt you. So you keep your emotions frozen. You don't know how to work with them. But you don't like it. It makes you unhappy, and it makes you isolated and lonely. And you're not holding in your hands something that's living. Our last message well, I'll give you a couple seconds because I got to shuffle. Where did we choose? The butterfly. Transformation. Okay. Okay. Funny that I said that was for me, because that is not for me. I don't have a problem with that in any way whatsoever. I do go after what I want. I do speak my truth about what I want. And if I'm rejected, I'm rejected. But at least you know the truth. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. The Divine Circus Oracle for the butterfly. Steampunk Priestess. Seven. You're on the right path, and it will exceed your expectations. So with the Steampunk Princess, she's got these glasses on to help her see, but she's got a ruby amplifier over her third eye. So she is being dialed in. Her information is accurately being dialed in. Now remember, before the full moon, personally myself, all the information that comes in, sometimes things aren't as they appear, right? I've been getting that a lot from Spirit. Things are not necessarily as they appear. She's got a little verse that she sings. 1, 2, 3, trust in what you see. 4, 5, 6, the truth is behind the tricks. 7, 8, 9, clarity divine. You shall see what you need to see at the perfect moment. It shall be. And it's true. Appearances can be deceiving. Things are not necessarily how they appear. But, as I said, we're getting downloads, right? Bam, 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 bam. Then we have a little time to process it, and then the truth becomes clear. We have to give ourselves the time. When our intuition hits us, it'll hit us right between the eyes. Boom. At the right moment. And it'll all click into place. And you know it. And when you have that feeling, you trust in what you're getting. So don't talk yourself out of the truth. You might just get that flash for just a second. But Spirit wants you to trust it. We have to, you'll know when it hits. Like when you have confusion, it's not there. When it hits you all of a sudden, it's like the aha moment. You got to trust that. And then you set a course because you know what you're looking at that time. So right now there's more to something or someone than meets the eye, clearly. That's why the owl keeps coming. Maybe we need to look a little closer at what's going on or trust in what we're already getting. Even if though underneath there's a part of us that doesn't want to believe that or has that doubt. How could what I'm looking at be so different than what I'm being shown? So Spirit wants us to get focused on the important things. Don't be distracted by games. Don't lose your energy or cloud up your head worrying about something that you need to sort out. If you don't understand it, let it go. Spirit will clear it up. We ask for clarification and then we let it go, and then Spirit brings it to us, and then you will know. it's crystal clear when it comes that way. It's when we try and force it and try and figure it out when we're puzzled by it that we mess up. So Spirit's telling you that when the time is right, even the most confusing situation for you, you're going to dial it in. It'll come into focus. And you'll understand what it is that you're seeing. You'll understand what you need to do, or maybe what you don't need to do. And you will know crystal clear what that is and how to get about doing it. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to set an intention for getting that clarity of truth. So I'm sitting, so you guys sit. So take your hand, your dominant hand, so that would be my right hand, right? Whatever it is that you work with mostly, and put it over your heart. Put your other one over your forehead, over your third eye. So you're connecting your heart and your third eye. And then breathe in and breathe out. And this is what we're going to say. My intention is clear. I see all I need to see. I free myself in heart and mind to look beyond the surface of things, to witness the deeper reality. Now, take your hands away and just get in a relaxing position. And if there's a specific instance that you want clarity on, you're trying to seek truth in something very specific, ask that question right now. I receive the insights I need for understanding and resolution. According to divine grace and divine timing, so it be. So now, take a look at this. And imagine this laser light coming through this ruby into your third eye. Imagine and feel or visualize that light. What if you can feel it? What would be kind of cool, what I'm doing is I just automatically did it. My eyes are closed and I've got my pointer finger and I'm massaging my third eye. So imagine that laser light now, it's beaming through and that's that pulsating feeling. So that trust in the insights that come to you today. You're going to get it out of the blue. They'll be like flashes that just hit. And that is what you need to trust. So say an affirmation. I'm all about affirmations, positive affirmations. The eye of love in my heart, because see, it's a ruby and her hair is red. This is love. This is all about love. You don't want to find this out in order to punish someone. This is all about what we can do to heal a situation, right? So the eye of love in my heart and the eye of light in my head show me the truths most helpful for me to see at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I feel relaxed and comfortable, and I trust in what I see when I see it. Because that's what we want. We don't want to be all twisted in a knot, upset and stressed out. We want to be relaxed. We want to be comfortable. We want to know. You know, I sat there myself saying, I know better than this. I am connected. But a lot of the times what we do is we push our original belief away. Sometimes it's because we don't want to believe that. So let's just relax. Often I get, I had a dream last night and it's driving me crazy. I can't figure out what it means. And you know what's interesting to me? I've been getting downloads like crazy, right? These last several days, but I haven't been dreaming. I don't remember my dreams at night because I'm being downloaded. It's too much for my body to process. And sometimes you'll just get like a little, like even when I would have a nap, I would generally get a message, nothing, because I'm being downloaded. And my third eye is hurting. I've got a lot of information that's processing right now. So I'm going to baby myself. And I'm not going to stress. I want to be comfortable with the knowledge that comes to me. Relaxed. And it'll come to me when the time is right. I'm not going to get myself twisted in a knot. It'll come. And it'll be very, very clear. Challenge your perception. And there you go. When I look at her, this is the sort of truth. This to me looks like the Lady of the Lake. And she comes up with the sword of truth. The number 5, again, we've been getting a lot about that, have we not? Significant change happening in your life. Always for the better, the things that are happening. Good idea to call upon spirit for help, because maybe it's difficult the way things are going down. But you see this one, Challenge your perception. Challenge the way you're looking at something. Stay in the light. Elevate yourself from a place of love and stay in the light. You have to put aside your personal feelings and beliefs in order to see things from someone else's perspective. Because when you are judging someone as right or wrong, you're elevating yourself above them, and you don't want to do that. I told you before, sometimes people lie to protect themselves, sometimes people lie when they're afraid, sometimes people lie to protect you. So whatever it is that's going on right now, Spirit says that we have to be aware that there are two sides to this story, to this situation. And we have to see that both people can act in a way that the other sees as wrong. Both can be right, both can be wrong. One might be looking at something saying, this is wrong, you shouldn't do this is awful. And then the other person is actually saying, if you understood why this was happening, you would have a different perspective. So right now, basically, my message is reserve judgment. Challenge your perspective and reserve judgment. And understand that sometimes things aren't as they appear right now, and you may not understand the reasons for things right now. There's something that you're not understanding. And we have to put aside personal feelings and maybe our own belief system even to try and see how the other person's coming through. And it doesn't mean that what maybe somebody has done is right. But we have to understand. We have to try and be impartial. We have to try and put ourselves in a place where we can be approachable. That's what justice is. Justice stands in the middle and is open and willing to hear both sides before making a decision. You ask for the truth. And you stand open, willing to hear it. And that sword is down. Sometimes people don't want to come forward and tell the truth because you feel like you're going to get their head sliced off. But that's why this is the final message. Because after everything, the Spirit says, what would love say? What would love do? How would love handle this situation? Love would not take the sword out and slice someone's head off. Love would hear with spiritual eyes and hear with spiritual ears. I think I said hear with spiritual eyes because there's nobody in front of me. But we need to have somebody in front of you. There needs to be a face-to-face. So we will redo that. And we ask that Spirit helps us see with spiritual eyes and hear with spiritual eyes, ears. You know what I'm looking at? I'm throwing myself off because I'm looking, and there's no way you can see it. If I had a pen and paper right now, I could draw the most beautiful dragon. I'm looking at palm trees across the lake, a whole bunch of them, and then there's just like, I don't even know what it is in the hill, spaces between the palm trees. And it's showing me these eyes, big eyes that are closed, with big long eyelashes, almost like alpaca eyelashes, like a llama. Their eyes are closed. And I see the face and the nose on the end. It's beautiful what I'm looking at. But you see what I'm looking at? I'm just looking at prickly palm trees and a space in between. That's really what's there. But I'm seeing something different. Things are not always as they appear. We just ask for truth and clarity. And really what I'm asking for is I just want peace. I just want peace. For me and my part, I choose peace. Okay, so at 1 hour and 9 minutes, we're to wrap. I got to upload this and get to work. Love you guys.